all will learn, and you will learn the hard way. Mercy was standing in the middle of her shop, phone in one hand, the other hand on her waist, her voice loud enough for her apprentices to pause their sewing machines. You all will learn. I'm not joking. Her apprentice, Blessing, looked up nervously. Sister Mercy, what happened? Mercy turned her phone screen to show her an Instagram page. Ugly Fit Fashion, not her page, someone else using her name, her brand, the name she had built, the name that had cost her tears, shame, and years of mockery. Look at this one, Mercy said, her voice sharp with anger. She is using my business name, taking orders, collecting people's money, and when the clothes don't fit, guess who they come to blame? Me. Blessing shook her head sympathetically. Ah, Sister Mercy, that's not fair. Not fair? Mercy laughed. Shut, bitter. These people don't know what I went through to build this name. They think it's a joke. They think they can just use it anyhow. She turned back to her phone, scrolling through the fake page with shaking hands. But I'm telling you, I'm telling all of them, you people will learn. You will learn the hard way, because Mercy wasn't playing anymore. She has spent her whole life being laughed at, being mocked, being judged by her face before anyone saw her work. And now she had finally turned that pain into something valuable. People wanted to steal it. No, not this time. This time they would learn. Let's go back to the beginning, to where it all started. Before Ugly Fit, before the business, before the name, back when Mercy was just a girl trying to survive in a world that had already decided she wasn't good enough. Mercy was 12 years old the first time someone called her ugly to her face. It was during school assembly. The sun was hot. Students were standing in neat rows, waiting for the principal to finish announcements. A boy 2 classes ahead, one of those loud, confident boys who always had something to say, pointed at Mercy and said, loud, clear for everyone to hear, this one, her face is like those frogs we used to catch in the gutter. The students around him burst out laughing. Some covered their mouths, pretending to be shocked. Some didn't bother hiding it. They just laughed, openly, freely. Mercy stood there frozen, her school bag hanging off one shoulder, her chest tight. She wanted to disappear, to sink into the ground, to be anywhere but there. But she couldn't move. She just stood there while they laughed. Nobody defended her, not even her friends. Just looked away, embarrassed for her. When the assembly ended, Mercy walked home alone, and when she got home, she locked herself in the bathroom and looked in the mirror. Really looked. And she saw it. The thing everyone else had been saying all along. Her face wasn't right. Wide nose, eyes too small and set too far apart, lips that didn't balance, a jawline that looked unfinished. Not beautiful, not even close, just ugly, and there was nothing she could do about it. That was the first time. But it wasn't the last. By the time Mercy was 15, she had heard every version of the insult. At school, why is your face like that? You look like somebody squeezed you when you were born. Thank God you're not vain. Imagine if you were ugly and proud. At home, her aunties whispered when they thought she couldn't hear. Hey, yeah, that girl, what a pity. She takes after her father's side. All of them have that look. Let's just pray she finds someone who can manage her. Manage her. Like she was a problem. Even her own mother, who loved her, would say things like, Mercy, thank God you are smart. You will need it. As if her face was a disability she had to compensate for. And Mercy learned quickly. Learned to laugh along when people made jokes about her. Learned to make herself smaller, quieter, less visible. Because if she stayed quiet, maybe they would forget she was there. Maybe they would stop pointing, stop laughing. But they never did. By the time Mercy turned 18 and finished secondary school, she had given up on being beautiful. She couldn't afford university. Her mother was a petty trader. Her father had died years ago. There was no money for school fees, but her mother had been saving small money from her provision store, money she had hidden in a Milo tin under the bed. One evening, she had handed Mercy an envelope. "It's not enough for university," her mother said, "but it's enough for fashion school." Mercy looked at the money. It was more than she had expected. "Mama, this is all your savings." "Yes, and I'm using it on you because one day you will use this skill you're going to acquire to take care of both of us." Her mother smiled, tired, hopeful. "Even though people think you're not beautiful enough, Mercy, but you have good hands. You can do something with that." It wasn't meant to hurt. Her mother was just being honest, but it hurt anyway. Mercy enrolled in Mama Ngozi's fashion school in Yaba. It wasn't fancy, just 2 rooms above a provision store, sewing machines that made loud, grinding noises. One instructor, Mama Ngozi, who had been sewing for 30 years and didn't tolerate nonsense. Mercy spent 2 years there, learning how to read patterns, how to cut fabric without wasting material, how to take proper measurements, how to understand different body types. But the most important lesson came one afternoon when Mercy was struggling with a dress. "You are sewing the clothes," Mama Ngozi said, watching her, "but you're not sewing the body." Mercy looked up, confused. "Ma, everybody is different," Mama Ngozi explained. "Some people have big hair, small there, long hair, short there. If you sew the same way for everybody, nothing will fit. You have to see the person, understand the body, then you will know how the cloth should sit." That lesson changed everything because Mercy realized she had something, a gift. She could look at someone, just look at them for a few seconds, and know exactly how fabric would behave on their body, where it would pull, where it would hang, what needed to be adjusted. She didn't need 3 fittings like other tailors. She got it right the first time. When she graduated, Mama Ngozi pulled her aside. "You are good, Mercy. Better than most of the people I have trained. Don't waste it." Mercy didn't plan to. At 22, Mercy used the last of her mother's savings and a small loan from her uncle to rent a shop in Ikeja. 1 room, 2 second-hand sewing machines, a wooden table, a plastic chair, a cracked mirror on the wall. She painted the walls herself, hung a handmade sign above the door, "Mercy's Tailoring." Quality work, affordable prices. And then she sat inside and waited for customers. The first 3 months were brutal. People would walk past her shop, glance inside, see her sitting there behind the sewing machine, and keep walking. When people thought of tailors, they imagined someone fashionable, stylish, the kind of woman who made you want to look like her. Mercy was not that woman. She tried everything, printed flyers, stood outside calling customers, offered discounts. Nothing worked because the moment people saw her face, they made a decision. One woman even hesitated at the door, looked at Mercy, then looked away quickly and said, "I think I will come back another time." She never came back. Mercy went back inside, sat down, and cried. She had spent 2 years learning. She was good. She knew she was good, but it didn't matter because people judged her face before they ever saw her work. Then, 3 months in, a woman walked into the shop. She was big, very big, the kind of big that made other tailors sigh and triple their prices. "I need a dress for my daughter's wedding," the woman said, her voice tired. "But I'm tired of tailors making me look like I'm wearing a sack. Can you sew something that actually fits?" Mercy stood up quickly. "Yes, ma, I can." The woman looked skeptical. "You sure?" "Because the last 5 tailors I went to, they all messed it up and they all charged me extra because of my size. I won't charge you extra, ma, and I will make sure it fits." The woman studied Mercy for a long moment. Then she shrugged. "Fine, let's try." 2 weeks later, the woman came to collect her dress. Mercy had poured everything into it. Every measurement perfect, every stitch tight, every seam aligned. The woman went behind the curtain to try it on. Mercy waited, her heart pounding. When the woman stepped out, she was silent. She turned to look at herself in the mirror, turned again, lifted her arms, bent slightly, then her eyes filled with tears. "This is the first time in 20 years," she said, her voice breaking, "that a dress has actually fit me. How did you do this?" Mercy smiled. "I just sewed it the way it's supposed to sit on your body, ma." The woman paid her, tipped her, and hugged her. "I'm telling everybody about you," she said. "Everybody." And she did. Within a month, 5 of the woman's friends came to Mercy's shop. Then 10 more, then 20. Word was spreading. The tailor in Ikeja, who could make anything fit, who didn't charge extra for big sizes, who got it right the first time. People started coming from Sulere, from Lekki, from Aja. Mercy hired her first apprentice, then a second, bought 2 sewing machines. For the first time in her life, things were working. But even as her business grew, the comments about her appearance never stopped. They just became more polite, more coded. Customers would come in, see her work, be impressed, and then they would say things like, "Wow, you're really talented, Sha." Pause, surprise in their eyes, as if they hadn't expected it. "Your hand is blessed though, not your face, just your hand." I mean, "This is really good work," one woman even said after collecting a perfectly fitted dress. "You know, when my friend told me about you, I almost didn't come, but thank God I did." She said it with a smile, like it was a compliment, but Mercy heard what she meant. "When I saw you, I almost left, but your work saved you." They never said ugly directly. They didn't have to. The bosses said it. The surprise said it. The relief in their voices said it. "You are not what we expected, but somehow you are still useful." Then one Saturday, Auntie Bibe came to collect a blouse. Auntie Bibe was loud, blunt, the kind of woman who said whatever came to her mind. She tried on the blouse, spun around in front of the mirror, and burst out laughing. "Chai, Mercy, this thing fits me like second skin." Mercy smiled. "Thank you, ma." But Auntie Bibe wasn't done. "You Sefe," she said, still laughing. "The way you look, I didn't expect this level of perfection, no." The other customers in the shop went quiet. Mercy's smile froze, but Auntie Bibe kept going. "Oblivious. I am telling you, this girl can sew for anybody. Even though she's not fine at all, her feet are perfect. Ugly feet. That's what we should call this place." She laughed so hard she had to sit down. One of the other customers laughed nervously. Another looked uncomfortable. Mercy laughed too, because what else could she do? But inside, her chest was tight. Ugly feet. The name felt like a slap. But a week later, another customer came in. "I heard you're the one with the perfect feet," she said, smiling carefully. "My friend said your work is really surprisingly good." Mercy just nodded and took her measurements. Then another customer came, and another, and they all used similar phrases. "The one with the perfect feet, despite that Tailor who, but her work is excellent." Ugly feet. At first, Mercy hated it. Every time someone said it, it felt 12 years old again, standing in that assembly being laughed at. But when something strange started happening, people trusted the name because it was honest. It didn't promise beauty or glamour or transformation. It promised fit, real, actual fit. And in a city full of tailors who overpromised and underdelivered, that honesty was valuable. 6 months later, Mercy stopped fighting the name. She took down her old sign and put up a new one, Ugly Feet Tailoring. It felt like surrendering, like admitting defeat, but customers loved it. Finally, a tailor who is honest. This is the realest business name I have ever seen. I respect it. The name that had hurt her was not helping her. And slowly, painfully, Mercy started to accept it. Maybe this was how she would take back control, by owning it, by using it, by making it hers. For 2 years, business was good. Mercy hired 4 apprentices, bought 6 machines, extended her shop hours. She was making money, real money, more than her mother had ever made. The name Ugly Feet became known all over Ikeja. People trusted her. People trusted it, recommended it, and Mercy finally felt like she was building something solid. Then everything started to fall apart. It started with a message on Instagram. A woman named Mrs. Ade, I ordered a dress from you 3 weeks ago, paid 25,000 naira. The dress arrived yesterday and it's rubbish. The zip doesn't work. The sleeves are uneven. What is this nonsense? Mercy frowned. She checked her order book. No, Mrs. Ade, no 25,000 payment. She replied, Good morning, ma. I don't have a record of your order. Can you send me a screenshot of our conversation? Mrs. Ade sent a screenshot. It was an Instagram DM thread, but the username at the top wasn't Mercy's page. It was Ugly Feet Orders. Mercy's real page was Ugly Feet Ikeja. She stared at her phone. Ma, this is not my page. Someone else is using the name Ugly Feet. The reply came fast. What? So there are 2 Ugly Feet? Yes, ma. I'm very sorry. That page is not mine. Mrs. Ade went silent. But Mercy didn't. She started searching, and what she found made her blood boil. There were 5 Instagram pages using the name Ugly Feet. Ugly Feet NG, Ugly Feet Orders, Ugly Feet Fashion, Ugly Feet Lagos, Ugly Feet Online. 5. All of them posting pictures of clothes, taking orders, using her name, her reputation, her brand, and customers couldn't tell the difference. Over the next 2 weeks, 8 more customers messaged Mercy complaining about orders she had never taken. Her reviews were getting bad. People were calling her a scammer. One woman even came to her shop to shout at her, You people collected my money and didn't deliver. This is fraud. Mercy tried to explain. Ma, it wasn't me. Someone else is using my name. I don't want to hear your excuses. Give me my money back. But ma, I didn't take your money. So you're calling me a liar? It took Mercy 30 minutes to calm the woman down and show her proof that she wasn't the one who took the order. When the woman finally left, Mercy sat down, exhausted. This wasn't sustainable. People are ruining her name, the name she had painfully built, the name that had cost her so much, and they were doing it because they thought it was just a joke, a free name anyone could use. That evening, Mercy messaged one of the fake pages. Good evening, I'm the original owner of Ugly Feet. This is my business name. Please stop using it. The reply came an hour later. Laughing out loud, 6. Calm down. It's just a name. Nobody owns Ugly Feet. We are just trying to make money. Relax more. Mercy read the message 3 times. Relax. They wanted her to relax while they destroyed everything she had built. No, Mercy didn't sleep that night. She sat in her shop, laptop open, googling how to protect a business name in Nigeria, trademark registration, CAC, intellectual property law Nigeria. She read everything, articles, forum posts, legal blogs, and she learned something important. She could register the name, trademark it, make it legally hers. It would cost her money, about 50,000 naira for the process. Money she had been saving to open a second location. But what was the point of a second location if the first one's reputation was being destroyed? She made a decision. The next morning, she went to the Corporate Affairs Commission. 3 weeks later, Mercy held a certificate in her hands. Business name, Ugly Feet Tailoring Services. Mercy Adebayo, registered and trademarked. She stood outside the office staring at the paper, her hands shaking slightly. It was real. The name was hers, legally, officially, Completely hers. Nobody could take it anymore. Mercy didn't announce it publicly. She just quietly hired a lawyer, a sharp young woman named Barrister Temi, who specialized in intellectual property. Send cease and desist messages to all 5 pages, Mercy said, handing over the list. Barrister Temi smiled. With pleasure, messages went out the next day. Polite, professional, clear. The business name, Ugly Feet, has been officially registered and trademarked by Mercy Adebayo. Continued unauthorized use of this name constitutes trademark infringement under Nigerian law. You are hereby required to cease all use of this name immediately. Failure to comply will result in legal action. 2 pages changed their names within 48 hours. 1 page deleted everything and disappeared. Another went silent but didn't change anything. The 5th page, Ugly Feet Fashion, replied, and the reply was not polite. Are you mad? You actually went and registered Ugly Feet, a name that calls you ugly, and now you want to fight people over it. You're not well. Mercy showed the message to Barrister Temi. Temi didn't even blink. Give me 24 hours. The next day, Barrister Temi sent a follow-up message. This time, with a copy of the trademark certificate, a copy of the Corporate Affairs Commission registration, and a legal notice. This is your final warning. You have 48 hours to change your business name and remove all references to Ugly Feet from your social media platforms. Failure to comply will result in a formal lawsuit for trademark infringement and damages. The trademark holder is prepared to pursue legal action. The page went quiet for a day. Then on the 2nd day, the name changed. Ugly Feet Fashion became Perfect Fit Nigeria. All the posts were deleted. The bio changed. It was over. But the owner wasn't done talking. She posted on her Instagram story, "Can you imagine? Someone actually trademarked the name Ugly Feet, like she owns the word ugly. Lagos people and pettiness, sha, over a joke name. Now wow." The post got shared. Screenshots went around WhatsApp, Twitter. People had opinions. She's fighting over a name that insults her. Why didn't she just change it to something better? This is too much. It's just a name, but some people defended Mercy. She built that name. Why would others benefit from her work? If you wanted a name, create your own. Don't steal. People always want to reap where they didn't sow. One evening, a regular customer came into Mercy's shop, a woman who had been coming for over a year. She didn't sit down, just stood by the door looking uncomfortable. "Mercy, I heard what you did with the trademark." "Yes, ma. People are saying you're being too serious, that it was just a joke and you're taking it too far." Mercy pulled down the fabric she was holding. She looked at the woman directly. "Ma, when people laughed at my face for years, was that a joke?" The woman said nothing. "When I cried because children mocked me, was that a joke? When aunties whispered that I would never marry, was that a joke?" The woman shifted uncomfortably. "When customers started trusting my work because of that name, was that a joke? When I spent 2 years building a reputation, was that a joke?" Mercy's voice was calm, steady, but firm. "Ma, that name is the reason people come here. It's the reason you came here the first time. People used it to hurt me. Now, I'm using it to build something, and I'm not letting anyone take it from me." The woman was quiet for a long moment. Then she nodded slowly. "You are right. I'm sorry. I didn't think about it like that." Not everyone agreed. Some customers stopped coming, said Mercy had changed, said she was too proud now. But many more came because the story spread. The tailor who trademarked the insult, the woman who turned shame into a business, women who had been mocked for their looks, their weight, their skin, their hair. They heard the story and they felt something. 6 months later, Mercy stood in her shop, looking at the new sign above the door. Ugly Feet, officially registered and trademarked. Her phone buzzed. Another order. Another customer who has heard the story and wanted to support her. Mercy smiled. The name that was meant to break her had become the thing that built her, and nobody, not the people who mocked her, not the ones who tried to steal from her, could take that away anymore. They learned, and learned the hard way. For more interesting African folktales and stories like this, African drama stories, tales, please do well to like, leave a comment, share our story with your loved ones, and most importantly, besties, please subscribe. Subscription is free. Please subscribe today. It's a way of encouraging us to bring interesting stories like this for your entertainment. And until I come your way again, besties, for now, bye.